What is going on, you guys? This is All Day 1 on the PS4, and I'm going to be giving you another Division 2 build video. And with this build video I'm going to be giving you guys, this is going to be a very, I don't want to say advanced build, but it is going to be a very strong build, but it's a high risk, high reward build. It is a clutch berserk build, but with this clutch berserk build, it is not a lot of health in comparison to what you may have seen other people run before. But a lot of the elite type raiders generally run this type of build, and you'll see. I'll give you the reason why actually. So the reason why I don't run a lot of health, I'm not even at 100k health, is because a lot of my points are invested into damage. The more damage you have, the quicker the ads will go down, and the more people that run this type of build and focus fire, the quicker the raid will go. And I've seen this at first hand. We've actually had 6 people running a build exactly like this that have at least maybe 130k health or less to 100, like, or up to like, so it's around 50k health to like 120, 130k health is where most of us have really run this build like, and the raid goes by quick, or ad clearing goes by quick. I wouldn't say the raid itself, but the ad clearing goes by very, very, very quick. But that's because we have people focus firing on the ads, and it's very, very strong. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and go right into this build. So as you can see, I'm using an eagle bearer. You don't have to go with an eagle bearer. You can go with the custom P416 or not necessarily an AKM. You want to use something that has a high rate of fire or a higher rate of fire than 600, 650, 700. 750 is all right. If you run Allegro on it, it'll be very useful. If you can either run Ranger or Strained. I would recommend Strained because you're gonna have a high crit chance anyways. I do run Extra though, just because I think the rate of fire on the P4 is nice as it is. But there's been people, you know, who likes running Allegro instead. But those people also can run the plus 20 on the AR mag. I can only run plus 10 because I don't do my projects. But yeah, you can do that, or you can run the tactical MK16, which has a very low rate of fire, but it's still pretty strong. There's other weapons as well, like the ACR as well, and G36. But for me, the P416 is your best bet. And well, if you don't have the eagle bearer, if you have the eagle bearer, I would highly recommend running the eagle bearer instead. And then for my secondary, I run the Vector SBR 9mm. It has Strained on it, Jazz Hands, and Stop, Drop, and Roll, which in my opinion are the best things to go with. You don't need to run Allegro because it has a 1.2k round RPM anyways. So running Allegro, in my opinion, it means you're just reloading a lot more often, or a lot quicker, or more often, versus having Jazz Hands, you reload quicker. If you run Extra, that'll be even better because that's just more bullets you can shoot at a time. And having Stop, Drop, and Roll is going to be really nice, especially if you are the one kiting Lucy and you get shot by a bleached snipe, or if you're kiting Buddy or whatever, you can just roll out of that bleed or roll out of the poison and it won't affect you anymore. You can also run with transmission. There is protected reload, but I wouldn't recommend it because you're not going to run a high amount of armor. So having protected reload is basically having like an extra 10k armor, and it's not going to be useful for you at all. For my secondary, again, I'm running X45 Tactical with transmission, just because transmission is amazing to have. Now for my build itself, I'm running 3-piece Wyvern, I'm running the Alps climbing gloves, I'm running the Stritz Vast Fenris chest piece, and I'm running a Gila mask. Now for the Gila mask, it has a blue and red, which has 22.9k health, 40% DTE, and hard hitting. And the reason why I'm using this Gila Guard mask is because it also has a utility mod slot, which allows me to put a drone skill power mod on it, which is going to be really useful. I'll explain in a little bit on why you would want that. And then for my backpack, I'm using the Pygo style sack, which has the 9% weapon damage, or it has weapon damage, crit chance, and health, which is ideally the best backpack to go with. You want to have the one with weapon damage, crit chance, and health on it, as well as hard hitting and vital. And it did come with a utility mod slot, which is really nice as well for this particular build in general. But I did throw in 9% weapon damage. If I can find one with 10 or 11%, I'm gonna throw it right on here right away because I need that. but you do want to get it with hard hitting and vital, with crit chance as well, and health and weapon damage. Reason why you want vital on it is so you can push your health more, and hard hitting because, well, this is a raid build and the raid has more yellows than reds and purples in general. And then for the chest piece, I'm running the Strips Vest Combat Vest, which is going to be the one to have in offensive mod slot. And then you want to have the 1 blue, 2 reds, Berserk, and hard hitting. You can run with 3 reds actually, which is what I have here, with 8% crit chance, weapon damage, headshot, which is probably the best way to go about it actually, in my opinion. And it does have Berserk and hard hitting, but the only issue here now is it comes with a utility mod slot. You don't need it to come with a utility. You don't need 3 utility mod slots. You only need 2. So this is the second one you have, then I mean that's good, but that means you would need to have the offensive mod slot on the backpack. And for the chest piece, this one would have been really good if only that armor was turned into health. Unfortunately, it came with armor, so I had to deal with that. But yeah, this chest piece as well is probably the best way to go about it when it comes to attributes and talents. It's just, like I said, it's only the mod slot that's really killing this chest piece the most for me. And then you can go with the Alps Summit climbing gloves, which is what you want to go with. You don't want to go with anything else. And it needs to come with a red slot with clutch, or a 12% assault rifle damage with a active talent so you can throw on clutch with it. And the reason why you want climbing gloves is so you can get the offensive mod slot. The offensive mod slot is going to allow you to push your damage even further. And then the Wyvern holster, you want it to come with hard hitting as well, and then that way you can throw on with the red mod slot, it can come with 15% or higher crit chance, which is going to be really useful for this. And then it's going to obviously come with an offensive mod slot as well. The next thing, or the last thing, is going to be the Wyvern knee pads, hard hitting and crit chance as well with offensive mod slot as well. The reason why you want to run with the Wyvern set instead of the DNH. DNH is also a good alternative, but the reason why you want to run with Wyvern is because you get 3% more crit chance versus DNH giving you 7% and Wyvern giving you 10%. DNH gives you 10% crit damage while Wyvern gives you 7% crit damage, but the crit damage isn't like necessarily 3% crit damage isn't as big as 3% crit chance. Having that extra 3% crit chance is going to be a lot better than having the 3% crit damage. Now for the talents or the abilities I use, I'm using Hive, which is going to have the I mean, I don't have any, I won't be able to unlock any of this. I don't think I can. Let me see. Boom. Yeah, so I can put this 12.1% cooldown reduction, but it only puts me down to about 210 second cooldown. So it's not that big of an issue for me. But the reason why you wanted to have those drone skill power mods is for this, which is going to be the cooldown. So as you can see, I'm at 50.7 seconds. I believe 50.7. It should be a little lower. Let me go ahead and see. Yeah, 50.7 seconds is my cooldown rather than being at 90-second cooldown for my Defender drone. Because the Defender drone is going to be the main talent you want to use on a Berserk build. Because that way you will be able to negate a lot of damage coming into you. So you run this with a high cooldown reduction or low cooldown reduction, and you'll be able to have this proc a lot more often. Especially if you break it before it's done, you know, with the whole cooldown, whatever, the cooldown mess. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you the damage real quick, or actually I'm gonna pop my Defender drone, and it's gonna be at a 51.7 or 50.7 second cooldown. But if I break it before that, as you can see, it'll be a 26-25 second cooldown. And I'm gonna show you the damage I could do, just body shots, and this is with no Berserk proc as well. It's pretty nice, just body shots, 1 million DPS body shots. Headshots, it's a 1.1, it could probably be 1.2 if the target was a little closer to me. 1.4 million DPS, and like I said, this is with no Berserk proc as well. If you have Berserk proc, you're gonna do a lot more damage, because as you can see, I'm just gonna go ahead and read it off. Berserk, 10% weapon damage for every 20% max armor depleted, so you're doing 50% more weapon damage when you have no armor. So it's insane. It's an insane amount of damage, pretty much, because I'm doing about 180% or 180k headshot crits when I have Berserk procced, I believe. Actually, let me just go ahead and see this real quick. Or I'm not even within crit range. Yeah, I'm still not within crit range. So I'm just gonna go ahead and shoot the enemy. Oh my jeez. So still not within crit range. Alright. Maybe this would be crit range. So 140k on the headshot with the crit. And that's no Berserk procs. So I'll be doing about 180, 190, maybe 200k headshots with crits and within the crit range. But that's another thing you have to keep in mind. With using an AR, you have to be within 10 meters, 10 to 45 meters for that crit to proc. If you're using an SMG, all you have to do is just be within 0 to 30 meters for that crit range to proc. As you can see, crit pretty much the whole time. It's really nice, but don't use I would recommend not using the SMG to kill an enemy. Use it to heal yourself. If the enemy's too close, then use it. If they're within mid-range though, the 10 meters, use your AR. But yeah, that's pretty much it with this build. And if you have any questions or concerns, let me know down in the comment section of what you think and how you think it can be better, or if it helps you out. Now, another thing I want you guys to keep in mind though is you cannot face tank with this build. You cannot face tank at all. You will be able to face tank maybe 1 or 2 enemies, but that is it. You will die very quickly, so you have to utilize using cover. You can fight out of cover, fighting behind a wall, but you cannot fight just standing in front of the enemy like this, because you'll get killed. And the enemies in the raid hit very hard. I mean, you can face tank if you're using a defender drone, but that is pretty much it. Your defender drone will end up breaking if you take too much damage though. But yeah, that's pretty much everything with this build. If you have any questions, concerns, let me know down in the comment section. And yeah, this is all day to day 1 on the PS4. Have a good day, good night, and peace.